Hi everyone, welcome to my backyard. And today on Hint of Lavender, I'm going to show you how I create a centerpiece out of a bunch of stuff that you can find in your yard. Basically what you need is shears, whatever foliage you want to cut out of your yard. I like to use either a 9x13 pan or the bread size. The bread size they're typically taller, so you can add height, but this way you can add width, so it just kind of depends on the space that you're creating this for. And then you also need a handy dandy thing of water. So now that we have everything, let's get started. All right, so technically I don't need the garden shears anymore because I've already cut everything off, so I'm just gonna set those aside. First thing you're going to want to do is fill whatever container you're using with water. And be mindful of your container. This one where it's more long and flat. I like using something like that for a centerpiece because it will be longer on the table, but it won't be high to where you're like blocking the view of your guests. So fill that sucker up. I do it about 3/4 of a way full. You may want to check it throughout the day depending on what you're doing this for. If you're doing it like for a dinner party, you're definitely going to want to check it maybe right before dinner to make sure that everything still has enough water. More so if you do this the day before, but I do suggest you do it the day of your event only because things start to wilt once you cut them. So what I'm going to start with is, well, I should probably explain what I have here. So I have cut off some of these beautiful blossoms off of my snowball bush, and then I have a lilac bush, and it's pretty new. We planted it last year, which is why you can see these aren't completely full yet. It's just because the plant hasn't matured enough. And then we had I pulled this greenery off of, I don't know what this shrub is. If any of you know from identifying it, leave a comment below and let me know what it is so that I know what kind of shrub I have in my yard. So I'm going to start off with the snowballs. Oh, you know, I kind of lied. I'm going to need my shears, I believe. Okay, so I like to take something that's really full like this and just add it kind of into one side and laying it down so that the stem is as submerged in the water as possible. And the reason I like these snowballs as well is they're full coverage for sure. Let's see, I'm gonna take another one of these. See how a lot of the blossoms are falling off of this? It's because I probably could have done this a little bit sooner if you want the plants to stay longer. I kind of like doing it at this point because they're gonna start dying off of whatever plant they're on anyways, and this way you can enjoy it in a nice, pretty way. This guy is kind of, I have to be mindful though because this guy has lost too many blossoms and so it just doesn't look right. I'll show you. Clip him off. See how he doesn't look quite as full? So you can just kind of clip those ones off. But you want to just place stuff around the perimeter, so the edges. If you've seen how to make a floral arrangement like a pro, then you know you've got to start with the edges and then work in with the fillers. So I'm just going to put these guys all around the edges. You can see I've lost a lot of the petals. That's all right. This is where it really depends on the types of flowers that you use, is really kind of how you arrange things. You just have to play with it and see kind of what you like and what you don't. Okay. And be thinking about the overall shape. That was one of the hints from the other video, is be thinking of how, when you're placing these, like what shapes are you creating. So before I add the rest of those snowballs, I'm going to fill in some of these greenery. Like it's down here, it kind of comes out longer than on this side, so I'm going to counterbalance that with this. I don't like things to be too matchy-matchy in the sense that like if a snowball was going that way, I have to have another snowball. I don't care about that kind of stuff. But I like the dimensions to be kind of the same, but using different materials. So just kind of see where you want to place the greenery. Move this lilac out of the way. So as you'll see, I'm just filling in kind of the outer, and then I'm going to save the middle and the top, so to speak, till the end. Because I think one of the nice things about getting stuff out of your garden is it's just really green and beautiful, and there's something fun about sitting there and seeing this beautiful display and then looking around and seeing the same flowers. It's very cohesive, which I like as well. Okay. With the greeneries, if they're hard to get in, you can just clip some of these off and it will make more space and an ease to getting those in. I basically wanted one right here. There's this brown stem, and so I kind of wanted to hide that a little bit with the green. This is looking, oh, we have a little spider friend here. Come here, you. I'll kill bugs when they're in my house, but if they're not in my house, I'm gonna let them live. It's the Buddha in me. Okay. Ooh, see how delicate these are? So once you get them laid, you wanna just, once you get them laid. What is with these flower videos? I always say something inappropriate. Y'all remember the bush comment from the other video. Now, I definitely think a key to this is keeping it organic looking. You don't want it to be so pretty. I mean, you've literally cut these out of your yard, so it needs to look almost like an extension of your yard. So this one I think I might need to cut, because I want him to come right here. He's gonna hit the side of the container. Okay, ooh, this is starting to look pretty. Okay, so we have one more greenery. Now I'm trying to look also at the height of things, because I have all of the edges pretty much filled in. Ooh, that guy's not doing too good. This one is perfect. I want to fill in this area, so I'm just going to clip him a tad. Stick him right there. That was perfect. Okay. Now for the lilac. I think lilac smells insanely heavenly. I mean, I like florals, but there's just something so nice about the lilac. Okay, so you just need to kind of place them in there. See how this branch is sticking out? If you just turn it and have that be on the bottom, I think that that looks a lot nicer. Another thing you could do, if you see this before, is you can just clip it out. Then you don't even have to think about it. It's definitely a better approach. Okay, so now I'm trying to figure out where I want just that little touch of color with the lilac. Obviously there is a lot of white with these snowballs. So just trying to strategically think where to place these lilac. And like I've said before with floral arrangements, I say go with what you feel, because if you feel good about it, it's going to look pretty and everyone else is going to think it looks pretty too. I really wanted to clip more of the lilac off, but it's so new and so pretty, I had to limit myself. Had to show a little bit of self-control. Okay, I can't decide if I should put it here. I think I'm gonna put it here because there's a lot of foliage here and I have one more smaller little lilac, so I'll put that in where there's more foliage over there, just again to kind of balance it out. Oh wait, I have two. I got a little too excited about that. So I just cut, so they're still on the same branch. I just cut the top part off, and then I'm going to kind of push them together as I put them into the floral arrangement. Saw a little branch. Don't mind the truck. Okay. So now you have everything placed. You just kind of want to go around and make sure you don't have any gaps or anything that you kind of want to change a little bit. Like I can see the container on this corner here, so I want to kind of just shift everything over. Perfect. Okay. So that is an easy way that you can make a flower arrangement. You don't have to run out to the store and get something. If you're completely spaced, you can just find some beautiful flowers and greenery in your yard and make something that's beautiful to look at. You can do it for a dinner party or whether it's a bridal shower. It's a beautiful way to make your space look cohesive and inviting. And like always, I hope that it inspires you to gather the people you love in your home. Hi everybody, welcome. So that is an easy way that you can make a floral arrangement for an event that you have, whether that is a beautiful bridal shower in the people in my neighborhood. Don't mind the truck.